Hello. Dying to be famous. First of all, you are dying all the time. Your body is decaying and you are physically dying every second of your life. You are dying all the time. But that is pretty obvious. But what you are also doing is that you are dying mentally to the idea and mental construct of who you are, because you're constantly evolving and transforming as a human being, as in your identity and who you believe yourself to be. And that is something that happens in a fast pace or in a slow pace. It is all in relation to your willingness to let go of who you were and embrace who you want to be. You can also let that become what it becomes without any aware engagement. Just let it happen. Or you have a strong desire. You have a desire to become something. And maybe that is to get recognition for you as an individual, who you are as a person, to stand on the stage of life and get the applause and be celebrated for who you are as an individual. And you can do that. Or you can bring a message. You can have a message that will impact the world in a very positive way. A message that we all carry, a message that we all dreamed of when we were kids, when we grew up and we started to see people in various relationships not getting along. We had a dream of a world of love and a world of peace. So many of us dreamt of becoming policemen or firemen. I'm saying men now because I'm a man. Police officer, firefighter, no genders. And maybe that's the concept that we recognized as the hero making a big difference in society. But to me, the greatest hero are the role models that I consume. And those are the ones who speak about the heart, who speak about connection to love. People like Ram Dass, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hayes, Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. But there are also musical artists or cinematic artists that wish to communicate this message, and they do it in an artistic art form. And sometimes it comes out extremely clear if you can see behind the metaphor of the artistic expression. And that's what it's all about. That's why we create stuff at all, to understand ourselves and our lives better, to make it better. Which should come from a foundation of good enough. And if you have that desire to be that kind of individual, you've got your message first, always, which will create a world of love and a better place for everybody, which includes yourself. You just reap from that harvest as you make a change, because you are included in everybody. And to me, that is worth dying for. To me, that is worth letting go of everything you thought you were, every kind of history. Embrace your history, see it for what it was, get inspired and learn from it, and develop. And study life, study emotions, study thoughts, study the human experience, study unfolding. And as you do that, you start to deny a bunch of stuff, which are all lies. And eventually you come to the core of things. And you come to a place where there is no thing, but still there is. It just is. And that is called soul. And that is who you are. Soul is not identified with anything. It is pure love. It is the pure energy and the foundation of everything materially created. Everything material dies, like you and your identity and everything else around you. But the soul can never die, because it was never born. It just is. And if you reach that place inside you, then you know truth, which isn't a concept or an idea or anything material like an opinion or anything. Truth just is, and truth is love. And that is the supreme of all. And if you want to put a definition on that, to have a word that explains that, you can call it God. You can call it universe. You can call it source. It doesn't matter what you call it, because it doesn't have a name. It just is. So that's a true foundation within you of who you are. and you just want to give that away. You just want everybody to realize this, because that's energy. And then you realize that it isn't so much about moving around a bunch of stuff like logistics and creation in that sense, because that's coming from the outside in. And that's a misunderstanding about the human experience and life in general. That's why it's very important to understand soul. And then you understand that you cannot die. It's just the idea of who you are that dies. I have a desire to die to who I am. I am is something that Jesus said. If you say I am without anything attached, that's a definition of soul. I am. And I wish to die to be famous in the whole world with my message, which isn't my message. It's the message. It's the message of love, of soul, of God. And that cannot happen without me as a human being making that choice. I go along with sharing the message of truth and love, which I don't own. So it's not an ego thing. I'm out of the picture when it comes to the message. I'm just the messenger. But I'm a part of it as I share it. And I make the choice to dedicate my life to this. And this is something that can be accepted and embraced over a weekend easily if people drop their conviction and investment in the opposite, which is fear. And if they come from an ego perspective, they will only see that in me. So they think that all of this is about me as an individual, when all of this is all about them, which includes me. But at the end of it, not as me standing on stage getting applause and being celebrated for being such a fantastic human being. I don't mind that, but that is not the reason behind everything I do. I'm not after being a celebrity in that sense, but I can't communicate my message, the message of love, truth, soul, God, without myself. How would that be possible? I can't. My personality Me as an individual is just as important as you are. We're all equal. So I deserve to be a part of it. To die is something we all feel from time to time. Like, I'm going through this right now, and it's extremely rough. It demands a lot from me. Everything I'm going through, everything I have to process. And sometimes that becomes too much. And people commit suicide, which is correct in a spiritual sense, but not in a physical sense. Taking your physical life will not solve anything. It will only create more destruction and pain and sadness and sorrow around you. What you're looking for is to let go. Let go of who you were, all the attachments, all the judgments, all the misconceptions of who you are supposed to be. The understanding of the lies that you carry, the internal dialogue that is speaking against you. And state positive things about yourself. Like, I am love. I am kind. I am beautiful. I am giving. I am supporting. I am. The trouble and the resistance is yours, but it's also the world. The opposition is the invested belief in the material. A godless land, a world without a real sense of what love is, in its purest, most truthful form, which is formless, which is frameless, which is without boundaries, which is completely abstract, everywhere and in everything. That's non-material. My idea of what I do and how I present it and give it for free is that hopefully it will create an impact that will make humanity as a collective lose resistance and be humble and grateful in relation to the source that gives us all. Because we have nothing without God. Everything you have is God. Everything you will receive is God. Everything you've ever had was God. If you find God to be difficult to say source, say universe, say love. It doesn't matter. But the world suffers in the misconception of love. And people struggle with having a deep, loving relationship in truth with themselves, which becomes something they state that this is something I can give away. And that's a lie. You cannot give what you do not have. So you got to be humble and return to the source every now and then. And the source is not up in the head. The source, love, God, is in the heart. It's here. And people fear that. People who are very dark inside fear the light, because it will kill them, which is true. It will kill the lie, because the darkness is a lie. And what you want most in life is to be free. And to be free, you have to be true. But you cannot fear that. You have to work towards the light, but not die physically. That's what you're looking for. When I want to connect, when I feel tired, exhausted, and I can't work anymore on the things I do, and I just want to reconnect to love, I sometimes watch beautiful movies about love, like The Croods, or I watch Frozen, or I watch Elemental, Inside Out, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, or I listen to music that is instrumental with just very loving compositions that evokes emotion in my heart. I don't evoke emotions in my knees or in my head. The emotions and the love is here. But I also like to read. And I don't read homicide. I don't read murder. I don't read destruction. I don't eat crap. I don't eat shit. I want to support love. I want the world to be more loving. So I gotta be love as much as possible. Or else I cannot give love. I don't read the Bible. I don't read the Quran. I don't read the Bhagavad Gita. I don't read any religious ideology theories. If you can read those with an open mind and understand the metaphors bringing you back to love, which is in your heart, and you can let go of all the black and white letters, then that's fine. There are beautiful things written in those. But for me, I want it to be close to heart, and I want it to be human, I want it to be humane. I want it to be loving. So this is one book I return to every now and then because it evokes a lot of emotion in me, which brings me back to love. And that's this book. Not only is it full of love, but it's also a very inspirational book for anybody. Because the hood is where you are. The difficult obstacles in life are a part of who you are and where you are. And the book is called The Rose That Grew from Concrete. And that's you. Whoever you are and wherever you are. It's not about the material. The concrete is a metaphor. The hood is a metaphor. You might live in the jungle, like Mowgli, together with 20 monkeys, and you believe in love, and they believe in getting as much bananas as possible. They don't care about emotion. They don't care about social interaction and emotion. They just want to get that banana, you know? And that's Mowgli's opposition. And there's no concrete in the jungle, but there's opposition. And he has to rise up and do what's right. So he has to not conform and join the monkeys and believe that bananas are the greatest joy anyone can find. That's a misconception of love. And in some sense, this becomes a metaphor as we stem from monkeys. But I believe that we have come a little bit further. And maybe we can together create a more free world that is more loving and supporting and creative and artistic. That is something to die for. Because without that, it's all concrete. It's all steel. It's all stainless. And that is a AI robotic society. Completely without soul. That is not worth dying for. That is something you wish you were dead as it becomes a reality. That is something else. So dying to be famous is alright. But I suggest you bring a message with you. And maybe put that in front of you. And maybe learn what that is. And for all of those who have done this, but really hasn't come to the realization within them what love is, who have given communications about this, but in their own search in the middle of something. Try to see that. Try to see that and learn from that. And you don't learn from that in theory. You learn from that with your intuition, which is your soul. You feel what is right and you feel what is wrong. When something is wrong, you get tensed and something feels off. Like somebody stating that they are somebody wishing to do something with a great ambition, but they got a secret agenda. They got an agenda that is ego-based. It's about power. It's about, that's ego. But we learn from everything. That's why we create. That's the whole reason why we create at all. To learn more about ourselves, to make the world a better place as we evolve and unfold and expand our soul within us each. The world is not going to get any better from anyone doing everything for everybody else. The world gets better when people understand, respect, and embrace the truth, which is non-conceptual and is not owned or created by anyone and is not an opinion. So drop the messenger and embrace the message of love. And when you start fighting, you are fighting yourself. And you need to die to love. In life, not physical, just to come back to the heart, to love. Okay, I think that wraps it up for now. Take care. Buy this. Steal it. Borrow it. Read it.